Happy Wednesday, everybody. We are in week 2 in module 2, chugging along. So I wanted to check in based on some questions I've been getting in our Canvas inboxes. Some of you are emailing me some questions, which is lovely. Please keep sending me questions. It helps me make sure the course is on track, making sure everything is clear. Some of you have pointed out that for some of the progress checks, I forgot to make the setting to where you can retake them. So I fixed that now. So shout out to y'all. Thank you so much for letting me know. I want to make sure everything works properly for you. So please let me know how that's happening for you. Okay, so announcements will appear up here. Once I'm done with this video, I'll post a new announcement for this week that includes this video, but I want to clarify some things, especially about the CYU discussions, because that's where I'm getting a lot of questions. So I will jump into this announcement that I sent the other day about CYU discussions. So these are kind of like frequently asked questions that have come up so far. So what are we doing? The main ideas of these is that you're posting an attempt for a problem. Considering the fact that we're all at different places in this class, we're all making different mistakes at different times, I'm not requiring that you're submitting a work that is accurate or completely correct. The idea for these is that you're submitting an attempt for these, no matter where you are in your learning process. So maybe you're completely stuck just when you look at the problem. If that's the case, then when you work on these, write kind of where you're stuck. Maybe you're like, I don't know what a mean is. I don't know what a box plot is. Things like that. Now, I will say if the question is, I don't know what a box plot is, maybe go Google what is a box plot or go review our course material for what a box plot is. So the CYU discussions are also open book. So I guess I should specify, I want you to be able to ask questions, but I want you to use our resources to answer your own questions if you can, as you're attempting those. So you're going to be posting 2 attempts for 2 problems, and they're going to be posted as separate posts. And they're posted as separate posts so that I can leave feedback on them independently and that other students can comment on them independently so that they're not having to specify which problem they're commenting back to. So that's why you're posting them as separate posts. So I've already talked through what I mean by attempt, but again, that really doesn't mean you have to have a complete, correct, fully final draft of an attempt. This is really meant to be like a getting your hands dirty collaboration where we're all working together to understand this material and understand the questions that are being asked. Okay, why are we posting them to a discussion board? What I just said. So I want this to be a collaborative environment. I want y'all to be able to look at each other's work. So even if you don't feel confident in your own work, you can look at someone else's work and see, oh, did they do it a different way? Did they do it the same way? You can kind of compare what's going on. So I know sometimes it can be intimidating to post work in front of other people, but I think it's a really, really good way to see how other people are also thinking about this information. I'm not the sole source of knowledge in this classroom. I know that we're in an asynchronous environment, but y'all got the goods. Y'all have so much information and so much knowledge. Even if you're not correct about something, you can leverage what you do know to help others. And you can leverage what you do know to look at others' work to help your own thinking. So that's the idea of why we're doing them in a discussion board. I'll show you how you're evaluated in a CYU assignment when I go in there because there is a rubric for this. I want to point out that I encourage you to respond to more than one peer. So some of you in a wonderful way are leaving a lot of meaningful feedback to several peers. It's great. I just want to clarify that I encourage you to respond to more than one peer. And at the same time, please make sure that your comments to peers are not just surface level. So kind of digging a little bit deeper to actually, in theory, start a conversation if you were in person and could continue the conversation. I understand a lot of the times in these discussion boards, the discussions kind of just stop after a comment, but we're making opportunities. That's really the main idea. Okay, where are the problems found? I'm going to show you this specifically because this is a question that's coming up several times. So I'm going to go do that now. So in the modules, I will look in module 2 here just because that's where we are this week. And I'll give you a rundown of module 2 in a different video. This is mainly about the CYU discussions. So in the CYU discussions, for example, this one, And I want to clarify too, I've posted it if you've looked through module 0 with my late policy and everything like that for our class. These deadlines are more like guidelines. So if you don't post by the day that's listed here, please still post. I will still give you full credit for your post unless you are at the end of the semester and haven't posted anything. That's when I will deduct points. So these are guidelines. I understand that we have all different priorities, different lives, different things we're taking care of. So this is more of a guideline to help you stay on track, but please understand that these are flexible. Okay, so all of this you can read through. These are things I've kind of mentioned already. Please be careful with AI. This was a big thing also that I sent out an email about. In terms of using outside resources, I want you to be able to use outside resources to help you. We do this all the time, and I want you to be able to do that. But remember, our academic integrity policy is that posting someone else's or the internet's work as your own is academic dishonesty. That is not posting something that is your own work. So please, please, please feel free to use outside resources, but you need to take what you're given or what you see and summarize it in your own words or apply it to how you are learning. And next week, we're going to do an activity with AI where you can kind of learn how to use AI as a tutor. And I strongly encourage you to use AI in that way. But please do not just ask AI a question and copy and paste the answer into our discussion board. That will not earn credit because you're not posting your own understanding in your own work, which is the main point of these. So that's your fair warning. Okay, so your initial discussion post. The problems assigned for the CYU for this example is in the chapter 2 practice, and these questions are number 3, number 7, and number 9. So because there are more than 2 listed, you will choose 2 of these. Feel free to do all 3 if you want. In theory, you're responsible to know how to do all 3, so you have access to everyone else's work. I will also post sample solutions to these problems so that you can reference those. But you'll choose 2. Now to find these problems, this is where a lot of questions are coming. If you go into the chapter 2 practice or wherever I have linked here, so if you click it, it goes to practice chapter 2. So right now, if you look over here, we're on this page. So every chapter has a practice section at the very end of it. That's where these problems are coming from. So if we come back to the CYU discussion, number 3, number 7, and number 9. So number 3 is this one. This is number 3. It is coming from section 2.1. Okay, so now if we go to number 7, this is number 7. It's coming from section 2.1, but it's all on the same page. So this page lists all of the sections with some questions for each section. Okay, and then number 9. So let's go to number 9. This question is coming from section 2.1. Okay, now I'm going to go back and go into a different CYU and show you the difference. So that was the CYU discussion for 2.1. If I go into the discussion for 2.2 and I scroll down, I see different questions. So here again, you'll choose 2 out of the 3. Feel free to answer all 3. You'll choose 2 of these. So we're going to go to chapter 2 practice. But this is the same page that we were just at. So all of these questions in the CYU discussion so far are coming from the practice page at the end of the corresponding chapter. So now in this CYU discussion for section 2.2, questions 19, 20, and 22 are coming from, so here's 19, this is 19, and this is coming from section 2.2 here. And then again, we have 20, so I'm going to go find 20 here. This is coming from the same section, from section 2.2, but all of these problems are listed on the same page. Okay, and then 22, this one. So you're going to do this problem. Okay, if you choose that one. Again, you're choosing 2 out of the 3. Okay, I'll stop here. I'm really hoping that this clarifies, I guess to summarize, number 1, where to find the problems. So they're linked here, and the numbers here correspond to the number next to the problem. Please post your posts as separate posts. Please use outside resources if you want to, but do not copy and paste answers into the discussion. That's not the point of the discussion. And then engaging with your peers, please, I encourage you to respond to more than one person and try to be as meaningful as possible. In these content discussions, you can comment a lot more about kind of the content that you're seeing. So what people are saying, what people are writing. Some people have asked questions. Answer their questions. That's a great way to interact on these discussion boards. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to make some videos now for like the weekly updates and also candy corn stuff. So be on the lookout for that. All right, thank you.